certainly admit that trailers that give away huge chunks of their film's narrative so often annoy me. But at the same time, with a film like Hobbs and Shaw, which had a trailer that did pretty much exactly that, I can't say that I minded, even a little bit. Even while this is, of course, the first official spin-off of the Fast and the Furious franchise, unless, of course, you count Tokyo Drift, we all knew going in that it was going to absolutely be cut from the same kind of cloth and, for all intents and purposes, be the 9th film in this now huge franchise. As such, we all really did know exactly what we were going to get, even before watching the trailer or walking into the film. And if you did watch the trailer and liked even just a few beats in it, I can almost completely guarantee that you'll like those few beats as they play out in the actual movie. If you like loud, bombastic, delightfully ridiculous action sequences, just wait until you've seen this, and this. If you like cool, tough as nails, way too BA to maniacally monologue villains, look no further than this guy. And if you like overwhelmingly testosterone-filled verbal sparring matches between two of Hollywood's most charismatic movie stars, well, here are Jason Statham and Dwayne Johnson. And I suppose I can easily start talking about the positives right there with those two gentlemen. As I'm sure it's no surprise to any of you, watching both Jason Statham and Dwayne Johnson in this film was just a delightfully fun time. Even though they've both been in so many movies and really been performing much of their lives, their dedication to continue to entertain us, their audience, anew remains so very evident in Hobbs and Shaw. In the best way, while watching this movie, I could absolutely imagine both of them together behind the scenes, excitedly working through a new gag, or conceiving up another ridiculous one-liner, or cooking up some over-the-top action beat, all in an effort to entertain me, the viewer, and just make me smile. I would also be absolutely remiss if I didn't sing the praises of Vanessa Kirby, who was absolutely able to go toe-to-toe with those two massive personalities, and also add something to their dynamic. So yeah, if you, like me, have remained at least mildly interested in this series and enjoyed where it's gone to and grown to over the years, then you will at least partially like this film. And I did. At the same time, while watching it, I did find myself quite often wishing for something just a little bit more. And I think the primary reason that this film won't go down as one of my favorite action flicks of all time, or even one of my favorites of the year, is because while I was watching it, I actually did find myself believing that it had the ingredients to do just that, to be outstanding, but instead decided to be something much less special. And I think a lot of the reason for that came from the fact that it just did not take any risks at all. Going back to Jason Statham and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, each of them did indeed bring to this movie their usual charisma, charm, and palpable dedication to filmmaking. But at the same time, that's just it. They brought their usual bag of tricks. Though they were delivered with just the same amount of enthusiasm as they've always been, I have heard pretty much all of their one-liners and comebacks before. And though that eyebrow raise remains just as iconic as it's always been, again, I've seen that too many, many times before. Perhaps more unfortunate still was my response to the film's action. Now, David Leitch, the film's director, is absolutely a great action director, and I would never even attempt to take that away from him. He so clearly has been around action and stunt sequences his entire professional career, and just so clearly knows how to choreograph them, and probably more importantly, photograph them in a way that is trackable, visceral, and just plain fun. And to reiterate, that is awesome. There are very few other big-budget blockbuster directors in Hollywood that could say the same about their filmmaking. But at the same time, having now seen Mr. Leitch's John Wick, Atomic Blonde, and Deadpool 2, as well as all the other Fast and the Furious films, walking into this film and still walking out of it, I really did feel like I'd seen everything that this director and this franchise had to offer in the action department as well. So even while I did regularly find myself thinking while watching Hobbs and Shaw, that was well done. And that was well done, and that was expertly handled. I only once or twice found myself thinking, wow, that is special, or I've never seen anything like that before. Also, none of this was helped by the fact that this film was altogether too long. If it was closer to a nice light 90 minutes, then some of those tried and true tricks might have had just a little bit more pop. As it was, though, every action sequence and every verbal sparring match just needed to go on for 2 to 3 minutes longer than was necessary. There were also a couple of A-list celebrity cameos in this film that, while initially were quite funny, also did kind of outstay their welcome pretty significantly, just continuing to illustrate this film's wholehearted belief in excess, and that if everything is just cranked up as high as it possibly can be and stretched out as long as it possibly can be, then we, the audience, would just be all the more entertained and thrilled. An issue that was made all the more egregious due to the fact that other elements, like any genuine character dynamics or growth or any real depth or complexity to the villain, were given little to no time at all. Now, yes, I can already see the comments in my mind's eye. Come on, Chris, this film wasn't trying to be some masterpiece or something. What's your problem? Lighten up. Or the classic, Chris, this film knew exactly what it wanted to be and was just confidently that. Relax. And look, guys, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I wish that this film wanted to be something more, that it wanted to be something really special. Because again, I genuinely believe that it had the ingredients to be just that. And for all these reasons, I will give the film a 3 out of 5. I would still love to know what you guys thought of the film, though, so definitely comment below and let me know. And also, I am very curious. It is now a rather long list, but if you could rank for me your Fast and the Furious films, that would just be a delight for me to check out. Finally, please do subscribe. I'm going to continue to review films and television on this channel, and I would love for you to stay up to date on all of those things. But for now, I'm Chris Hartwell. This is The Heartbeat. Thank you for joining me.